Okay, so I have a question for you. What do you think about this game? Does it look good, weird, or bad? So this is the player, and this is some AI agents. They are walking into random points of interest. Well, it may look weird, it may not look like a next generation game, but here's the deal. I did not make this game. This game was not made by me. And you may ask, like, who made this game? Well, this is the interesting part. No one made this game. This game is AI generated. It's 100% AI generated, and I'm shocked. Of course, I had to help the AI to think about this game and generate the code, but all the code that you guys are about to see, and I do have the code here open for us to try to figure out what it does. It is 387 lines of code. Was generated by this AI agent here called chatopenai.com. So it is very impressive. It's called Chat GPT actually, and I will explain to you guys everything that is going on here. So first things first, how this started. Yesterday, a friend of mine sent me a message and say, "Hey man, have you seen this new AI stuff?" And I'm usually not a fan of AI generated stuff, but well, this year stuff really is advancing when it comes to AI stuff. I mean, take a look at this. Oh, now it halts. There's no enemies anymore. Okay, so I've created an account on here and started testing some stuff, and I found it pretty funny. So yesterday I was like testing and I said, well, write the simplest yet functional possible programming language interpreter, and he wrote this. So it's just a Python function that checks if the code is exactly this, print the hello world. So this is a terrible interpreter, but it was quite fun that the AI was able to generate this. And today I was having a little bit more fun and asking some general question. I do have the chat story here, and I will show you guys how this evolved. So I was like, hey man, how to reduce combat lag, and it was answering me stuff. And then I had an idea. Like, I really like this movie, Matrix, so I asked it, write the simplest yet functional possible code to simulate a world like in the movie Matrix. And then he replied and wrote a big code here, quite huge code. And I was like, no way this works. So I copied this and pasted into a Python script. I do have a history here. I was just testing stuff, so I did not use versioning. So this is the code. There was one mistake in this code here. I'll show you guys all the steps that it took to reach the number 6, okay? There was one mistake in this code, which is it was accessing the Y and J parameters of the agents. So you can see here, there's two agents, so this is the coordinates X and Y, and the agents do have a symbol, and it was just creating a blank world and filling the world with the agents. The only problem here that it was modifying the Y and J values and trying to index it back, so this was causing an error. So I just had to like fix this. It was like probably one line of code fix, so this is the fix. I was caching the stuff, and then when I started this game, so let me play this, you can see here that there is two agents moving in the screen. So it's a little bit weird, a little bit bad. It was clearing the screen first, so there's some flickering going on. But you can see two agents randomly moving across a map, a 2D map. Oh, another thing that I had to change. The original version was using white spaces, but I changed this to a dot. I don't think this is like too much of a change, but it's just better to visualize what's going on. But you can see here that, well, there's a simple and functional stuff going on. And I was curious to see what else can it be done, because this is very simple. Everyone can do this. It's 34 lines of code, just random stuff. So I kept going. So the first thing that I did is, can you rewrite the code above but using object-oriented programming? I was like, no way this is gonna work. And at this point, I had no idea that this chat had memory. I mean, that it reminds like what he sent to you. But for my surprise, he actually did a good job. So you can see here, there's a class called world. And then there's an update methods that update every agent, and you can see here that we do have agent.move, and you can see another class for the agent. It does have the world as a parameter, Y and J coordinates, and the symbol. You You can see straightforward. The move here just do random stuff, just like the original one. You can see here. Now it creates the world with the size 10 and adds 2 agents, object oriented, and same thing happened here. Okay, so then we kept going and we kept going forever. I added it, asked it to add a player as an agent that you can move with WA and NST. Sorry if I can pronounce this, of course. So let me jump here with the second iteration of this. You can see there's a world, an agent, and a player. So let me play this. You can see that I do have a P here, which is a player, and I can move with W, A, S, and D. I had to do one change as well, because the way he did here, if you check, he created a player class, and you can see that it was using this function. It's a Windows specific function, by the way, but it does blocks the simulation and waits for the user input. So I changed that to not block the simulation. So if the player does not move, you can see that everything keeps going on and on and on. And I can move the player. So this is quite fun, and I was like, okay, I'll try to do it a little bit better. I was trying to just redo some stuff here anyways. And then I said, well, instead of making these characters randomly walking towards like this map, can you add points of interest? Like you can add like a dot here or stuff like that, that this character can walk to this point randomly. So I asked this, so can you add points of interest to the map? And he actually did some good explanation. He called this POI, which is very interesting. And again, he wrote the code, and I started running into the first issue with this chat, which is like randomly it will stop sending the message. So you can see here that it was trying to rewrite the entire code, but the code is too big, so it will not gonna finish. So I asked it again in a hope that it will work, and it started and did not finish it. So then I decided to ask, okay, can you just send me the new part? So can you make the agent move toward a random point, but only write the modified part, code part. No need to rewrite everything. And to my surprise, the AI is smart enough to understand this. So he only did the point of interest stuff. So you can see that first he created the agent, like he modified the agent class to pick a random point of interest and then move towards this direction. And then he said some explanation and stuff like that, but he did not create the point of interest. Like he just make the code for the AI to follow a point of interest, but not created any point of interest. So I just asked it to do it so, and it created the points of interest in the map. So I assumed that he wants me to create this point of interest class, so I just did that. It's somewhere, oh no, actually in the third one. You can see here that I've created an empty point of interest class just for this code to work. And then if I remember correctly, I'm not gonna show the entire conversation. You can see it's huge, so I'll start hushing a little bit, but I asked it to generate a bunch more points of interest, and also here I asked to display different alphabet letters when there's more than one enemy and stuff like that. So you can see that this is like an interactive, I'm just not sure how to pronounce this. You can see here the points of interest. So this is a point of interest, and the agent J and O are randomly moving towards points of interest. But here's the deal, this is basic stuff, very impressive as well that the AI is generating this. I was actually asking stuff to AI and pasting the code here and fixing eventual errors. Not a lot of errors, it works very good. But then things started to get a little bit more interesting because I asked it to do AI, like A-star stuff. And I'm not gonna show the entire chat once again because initially I wanted to show you guys, but like the video is already 9 minutes long and I'm not even halfway through, so it will take forever. But you can see now I just kept adding, can you modify the agents to avoid the walls? And then he did, and it was not correct, so I just try to undo this change and then do it like um, a different question for the AI to think differently. So, well, I just kept adding, and let me summarize what I did here. So in this stage, I asked the AI to create like obstacles in the world. So you can see that the AI created this obstacle class. And then I added it to, I asked it to randomly add this to the world, and you can see he did a terrible job because this is not a way to add the stuff, but well, this is what he did. And in the end, of course, he actually wrote an AI algorithm. So you can see this, all this, all this to this point is a path finding algorithm that avoids the obstacles. So the enemy will move and avoid the obstacles. So let me try to play number 4 here. You can see the A and J, they are agents, the player is me, and you can see that they are moving towards the points of interest, but avoiding the obstacles. That is this this thing here, this at here. So this is an obstacle, you can see it is avoiding and avoiding again. So that's very interesting, and I did nothing. I did not have to write in a line of code to do this. So I kept going and asked it for a better world generation, and he actually did. Not very good, of course. You can see just a bunch of random stuff being added to the world. So very simple stuff, but again, better than it was before. And you can see now it does have a better world generation, kind of, sort of course. And I also asked it to make the character, the enemies, the agents, red and the player blue. And you can see that it did this. So you can see I'm moving the player, the agents are moving just fine. And then I had an idea, folks, like a very weird idea, and I'll summarize this to you guys. I asked it to do Pygame. Let me try to find this. Can you modify the main loop to render the world in a window using Pygame instead of displaying it in text format? And to my surprise, the AI actually generated the code, the entire code, to do this. It had some flaws. You can see that it stopped sending the text halfway through, so I had to ask it again a bunch of times and try to like put this together because it was split a little bit and had some problems. So this is me asking it again, and it had a problem. I was not able to make the AI update the game every 0.5 seconds because it was doing this before. You can see until like generation 5, it was updating the world and then sleeping for half a second. And then when I started when I asked it to move to Pygame, it completely removed this time sleep, and it also removed the world update. So it was generating and handling everything correctly, but I had to add the world update back to the Pygame version of the engine. You can see it's not the engine, the game. There's no world update here, just window filling and drawing based on the world stuff. So I had to do this. I tried to make it do it for himself, but the AI failed to make this. You can see it added here the world update and the time sleep. I did not want this because this will block the Pygame from being rendered. So then I tried it, and then I decided to just code it myself. This is small stuff. You can see in the next version here. No, my God, this version is huge. You can see that I had to do this myself. Not a lot of code again, but it works. And then I kept asking this, the AI, and then I run into a very bad problem. The AI started to stop responding me, and this was very frustrating because I had to create like a new session with the AI, but that meant that all the work that I did until here was lost into AI's memory. So the new version of the conversation did not have any of the previous like code. So I was not able to ask the AI to keep going with the code. So this is very unfortunately. Probably if I was able to keep asking it to build more code, honestly, the AI will keep going this forever until we have like a 3D badass and expensive Python program, and maybe we should ask it to translate into C++. I don't know, but the only thing, like the sad part here, is that the AI stopped. Like this thing happened. I don't know what is this, but it stopped working, and the only way that I managed to fix this is to create a new one. Let me try actually. Are you still here? Let me see if no. Can see does not work anymore, and there's no way I can retrieve this back, unfortunately. So I tried again to keep going. I wanted to ask it to draw a character. As much as I tried, it failed. The only thing that it did is drawing a circle. So that's like close enough. And by the way, this idea, let me actually show this. The idea to show like the font here, you can see there's the letters, is from the AI. I did not ask it to do this, but as soon as I said, well, render this using Pygame instead of the text-based one, he used Pygame but kept drawing the text, and I actually like this. It's kind of interesting, and I modified it. Like I asked it to draw a better character, and then he did a circle instead of a character. I had to tweak a little bit, and then I kept going. But again, since this is a different chat, I lost the ability to ask the AI to modify the existing code. So I had to like ask random stuff here and merge them into the agent myself. So the drawing and so on. And last but not least, I actually asked it to draw some Perlin noise backgrounds, and you can see here that okay, it's down again, and I can't ask anything anymore to this AI. But still, well, honestly, I believe that this is a very interesting result. You can see, again, I do have the agents moving towards some point of interest, and they do avoid obstacles. This, oh, by the way, the player does not collide with walls, and it was made by AI. I did not made any of this. I just asked AI and merged the code together. So this is very impressive, very, very impressive. Let's do a quick overview of AI's code. And I want this code to this video to be like huge. But again, oh, this I did myself. I was tweaking a little bit with the symbols, so I did myself. But in the end, it ended up discarding like my tweaks because Pygame, of course. The AI did a great job actually separating, like doing object-oriented code. It's actually not bad, not very bad. It did some useless stuff. For example, there's this point of interest, and then he created a point of interest obstacles, and he did a mistake here that he was adding the obstacles, like the class itself, to the obstacles, but everywhere else it was trying to index this obstacles in a different manner, so I just had to manually fix the problem. But yeah, he did a great job. Created the obstacles, the agent works quite decent. All the functions, everything is separated here. The player class as well. Again, this is the obstacle avoidance, and it was very interesting, like the way he did this, because I just asked, hey, make the player not collide with walls, and the way he did is he stored the previous player position and then moved the player with the W, A, S, and D, and last he basically checked to see if this new position collides with a wall, and if so, he moves it back to the previous position, and that's quite interesting. Like the AI did this, they did not ask it to do it this way, so I found it interesting. And you can see here, this is the world and obstacles creation, the agents and the points of interest and so on. This one I did myself because the AI did not add the player, so I had to manually add it. Not a huge deal. Pygame, again, this including the title of this window, the world simulation. This is not me, just AI, 100% AI. I had to change this, like the cell size, to be the correct one instead of like 20, because again, the AI stopped working, so I had to do this myself, unfortunately. Created a font and did everything. Like, yeah, that's great. Draw character, to draw the circle, generate the background. Here's the thing. He tried to use a function called noise, and according to the AI, this function belongs to Pygame, but it turns out that this is not true, this is not correct. Let me know in the comments if this is actually a thing, but I don't know, just gave me an error, so I just decided to comment out this code and use a random function instead. I wanted to do Perlin noise. I asked the AI to use Perlin noise to generate the background. That's why he tried to use this. But still, not sure if it works. You can see that it used the generate background to generate the background. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. Can you generate like the surface of the obstacles using this background generation function? And he did. And now the obstacles uses the surface. And again, all I had to do is ask for the AI and merge the code together. So I was manually pasting the code, commenting out the old code and doing the changes and so on. But this is quite interesting. Like, it's a 387 lines of code again, and it works just fine. Maybe I should ask it to compile this Pygame to WebGL and I don't know, let you guys play this. Not sure. But anyways, I just wanted to explain this to you guys. It's been a while since I don't make a video here for this channel, so I decided to just show this because it was very interesting, like very, very, very interesting. And yeah, this is Matrix to an AI point of view. Maybe like this AI combined with this like image generation AI, imagine what an amazing thing that this two AI could do together. So yeah, impressive thing, impressive feature. And thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber of this channel, I do all sorts of programming stuff related to video games. I do have a game engine, so I post all sorts of cool stuff here. So let me know what you want to see and subscribe to this channel to see more updates. So thanks for watching, and I see you in the next time.